already said, as we've rightly said, this is for beginners. So if you have a new member or a downline who just activated and the previous sessions were so difficult for him to grab the concept, please inform him to be here or inform her to be here, because this session is what is going to help such a person to be able to get the concept very right. Okay, so now if we're a trader, once you are able to get the concept of candlesticks, the very first thing that you need to do is to first go straight to the chart. Okay, sorry guys, is to go straight to the charts. I believe you can hear me. I'm having a severe headache, Qatar, but we have to still work things out. Okay, so the next thing that you have to do is to go straight to the charts. Use the charts to steady draw what you call support and resistance. So I'll say something about the charts now. The various combination of the candlestick that we see, how they arrange themselves, is what we term them as what as charts or chart patterns. So I believe the previous tutor was able to take us through that, right? So okay, so first, whilst we've been able to get a concept of trading view, I assume that how I'm with my beginners here who need to get new knowledge about what about trading, right? So please, let's go to trading view straight away. Let's go to trading view. Okay. um okay. Okay, so now when we come to trading view, I know you've already done all the necessary setups, your watch lists, your everything that you need to do. So just click on charts here. Let me first delete this. Let me delete everything that I have here. Okay. Uh, all right. Okay. So this is what we call it charts. Okay. So when we talk of chart patterns, that is the arrangement of the candles. The arrangement of the candles is what we term them as chart patterns. So the lines they form, observing to know that they form various lines, some going up, some coming down. We combine that to call it what chart patterns, right? We combine it to call it chart patterns. So for us to be able to identify a very particular area where we can term it as our support, where we can term it as our resistance, the trader must be able to first know that he did what we call charts, and without candlesticks and formation of candles, there will be nothing like charts or patterns, right? Good. So when it comes to trading, the market that we see or the chart that you observe has got three main trends to follow, right? And those three trends may have, let me first write it down for you. One, we have what we call uptrend, okay? So the patterns of the charts follows three different trends, right? That is uptrend, downtrend, and also ranging, ranging. So if you are a trader, anytime you see a chart, what you need to learn to ask yourself is how is the formation of this chart, or what is the pattern trying to create? Is the pattern creating an uptrend, or is it creating downtrend, or the pattern that I'm observing is a ranging trend, right? But basically, mostly we observe two, which is the uptrend and then what, and then the downtrend. So if a trader wants to be able to communicate to the charts and draw what we call his support and his resistance, you must first get to know this clear. This is just by the way. So what we are going to do this morning is we are going to do introduction to support and resistance, then also channels or trend lines. If God permits, tomorrow we look through on how to draw support and resistance. Then the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we look few things in addition. Then the new week we proceed with it, right? We also look at what we call demand and supply, right? Before the new week we proceed. Okay, so I believe we can proceed, right? So now when we talk of support and resistance, like I've mostly have been saying that that's what you need to know in trading first. If we're a beginner, is to identify or is to know what you call support and resistance in trading. And the basis of trading is support and then what? And then resistance. On the basis of the chart is support and resistance. So if we want to be traders, after we've been able to learn to understand the candlesticks patterns, their formation on the charts, the next thing that we need to learn to know is what you call support and then what support and resistance. So this morning what we are going to do, we are going to take time, that is introduction to support and resistance, to study, understand what do you mean by support in trading, what do you mean by resistance in trading, different forms of or different types of support and resistance. Then we bring the session to an end. If God permit, tomorrow we still get back to the chat again. And all this could be done within 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Take notice of that. But because I want to take time for you to understand, so we have to take our time and then learn the session very well. Right? Okay, so now when we talk of support, right? When we talk of support in trading, basically, the main purpose of support and resistance is to help traders do what? Identify how the prices rises, or what do you say technically, how the price reverses. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so the main purpose of support and resistance, before we even proceed to what support and resistance actually mean, the main purpose of support and resistance is to help traders to identify either there is going to be um, price, the price is going to pause, or it's going to reverse, or possible it's going to have it's going to continue. That is price continuation. Okay, so either there's going to be a price reversal, a price continuation, or ranging, right? So in an actual sense, the price reversal, the continuation is either what we trader may say, either it's still going to go up, reverses is going to go back, that is down, or it's going to pause, that is ranging. Okay, so if a trader wants to use support and resistance, the main idea behind using support and resistance is to ensure that is to help the trader to identify that the price may reverse, the price may continue, right? Or it may pause. That is the main reason why a trader may prefer using support and resistance. And majority of traders use support and resistance a lot because that is the foundation of trading. And after being able to understand support and resistance, I think you'll be able to use the chart very well without any complications or stress. Okay, so basically, first I'll start from resistance, or let me say, okay, let me start from support. So basically, when we talk of support, as we can all see this chart, okay, so I've introduced this chart to you. This is a pattern. Whatever you see here is pattern, okay. The formation of the candles on this chart is what determines as what pattern. So whatever you see here, forming whatever formation you are observing here presently, okay, it's a pattern. Now, looking at this particular pattern on the chart, good. Okay, very good. Looking at this particular pattern on the chart, when we talk of support, and then, or when we talk of support, you mean the price level where you can see that there are more buyers, or the buyers are strong. Do you get it? So the price level on the chart where we can observe that the buyers are so strong that the price may continue to drop. The price may continue to drop. So at that point in time, that area where we can observe that the buyers are strongly in movement of the market. So whilst those buyers are moving the market strongly, we can say that okay, then that area or that zone can be our support zone. So we take the support zone to be as if what we can term it as what, as ceiling zone. Ceiling zone. So sorry, did I say ceiling? Floor, right? So just assume this is the price. There are two intervals here. We have up, we have down. Okay, so this is the up line, this is the down line. So assume this place is your support. So that is the last area on the chart where the price couldn't go further. That area becomes your support area. So the floor where nothing was able to penetrate, that zone will surely become your support zone. That is where everything is seated and observing. So basically, in trade, when we talk of support, we assume that the support area is just the particular zone where the price couldn't move. So let me go out from this chart, then use clear this thing for you to get what I'm talking about here. So this is a chart. Okay, so this is my board. Very good. So when you look at this particular area, you can see this is a plain sheet, right? Now on this plain sheet, I have two lines here. I have an upper line and then also a lower line. So I assume that in between, whatever that is happening, it's not supposed to cross below this line, and neither is it supposed to cross above this line. So whatever that is happening in between these two lines, right? So at the end of the day, this area becomes my support area. That is the floor where everything could be rejected completely, right? So when the price got here and it couldn't go further, this area becomes my support area. That is the floor. So I assume this place is the floor, okay? And then the resistance, that is the zone where the supplies or the sellers were so strong to stop the price from rising. So the price could move, everything could move, but immediately it got here, it couldn't rise further again, just as the support. Once it immediately got here, it couldn't go further. So this place becomes my resistance area. So if I observe the chart completely and I want to know where support could be and then resistance could be, I have to just observe the chart. And when we talk of charts, chart is just visual. Who is doing that? Oh, my dear, stop using my screen. Stop using my board, okay? Stop using my board. You are not supposed to do that. Maybe it's not intentional. Please, you are not supposed to do that. All right. So on the chart, you may realize that since I have these two, one is supposed to be my support, one is supposed to be my resistance. So you, the trader, will define where you can observe your support and resistance. Now, support and resistance is not a fixed zone. It is a graphic or visual art. That is what you see. Do you get it? What do you see on the chart? That is the reason why I've always been telling traders, do not wait for someone to make a fixed decision for you. And we are doing all these things to ensure that traders can be able to master the charts, master the market, analyze the market themselves, and then also be able to do what to trade. Now, there is one key thing that you need to know here. When someone is trading, okay, when someone is giving you signals, there are three things that basically happens. Now, first, the trader's decision before he dropped the signal. So whatever signal you trade by someone, that is, it is the person's belief backed by his decision, or his decision backed by his belief. What he saw, how he decided what he saw, and then also his personal conviction to his visual art, right? Now, he dropped that signal there for you based on what he has seen and believed with all his convictions. Sorry. With all his what convictions. Should it happen that there should be a change in direction or a change in trend, by the time he would have to first close his trade before would prompt you, or by the time he will be with you to inform you that this is what is going to happen, maybe it may be too late. Then you may be liquidated. Do you get it? That is the reason why I may continue to give you the momentum, the strength to tell you that keep learning so that you can be able to produce your own signals. Taking signals is not safe at all. Maybe no one will tell you this. Not because you don't trust the person who gives you the signal. You trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, why do you trust someone so much? Is it because the person is producing consistent results? Yes, that may be fine. I'm not polluting you. You get it? But I'm teaching you how to believe in yourself and make firm decisions when it comes to financial decisions. Right? So by the time that person would give you the announcement that okay, close your trade, or whatever that will happen would have already happened to you. And I'll teach you, maybe as time goes on, I'll tell you more effect to why you're not supposed to take signals, but start analyzing things yourself. Okay, so when it comes to the idea of support and resistance, you assume this place is your floor where the price couldn't break further. So this place happens to be your ceiling point. Okay, ceiling where the price couldn't rise or continue. So when we talk of support and resistance, the support is the zone, okay, where the price, or the floor zone where the price couldn't drop further. And then also the resistance is the ceiling zone where the price couldn't rise further, right? So if you think of it, think of support as a floor zone, and then also think of support as a ceiling zone. And immediately you do that, you may understand this session in a very simple manner without any complication, right? Now, sometimes when we are learning about support and resistance, there are so many ways we can identify, or there are so many ways we can help to know different support and resistance. Aside you drawing lines, you may also help yourself to identify support and resistance by different categories. Okay, so we have different types of support and resistance. Okay, let me make the board very clean so that I can write that for you. We have different types of support and resistance, to which I may bring just maybe two or three of them. So, types of supports and resistance. Right. Let me get back to see if you are following. If you are following, give me one in the chat. Please, if you are following, give me one in the chat. If you are following, give me one in the chat. Very good. All right. So we can proceed. That is good. That is good. Let's proceed. Okay. Awesome. That is great. Well done. Let's proceed then. Since you are following, let's proceed. So, anytime you take a chart, support and resistance may come in different forms. Okay? Support and resistance may come in different forms, and let's look at few of them. Sorry, guys. Support and resistance may come in different what? Different forms, and let's observe. So, basically, there are those who can choose to use what you call Fibonacci support and what? Support and resistance. Fibonacci support and resistance. And when we talk of Fibonacci support and resistance, mostly it's about using what you call Fibo lines or Fibo measuring tools, okay, to predict the market. So in the course of our studies, we may come across what we call Fibonacci, okay? And when we talk of Fibonacci, it's assumed to be based on mathematical models. So Fibo follows what we call mathematical trend, right? And what is that is simple. It's based on that mathematical numbers to ensure it can give various features to the chart. So on that same numbers, you may be able to see or use the measuring tools to identify a key support area, a key resistance or area. So Fibonacci or Fibo 2 may be one of the support and resistance tools that a trader can do or can use. So aside you drawing your personal support and then resistance line, one type of support and resistance tool is also the Fibonacci too. So you can also use that. That is Fib. So in terms of our studies, once we keep learning, we may get to a time where we will talk about Fibonacci, what it is, and then also how we can also use Fib to be able to understand interpret the market. So please, you get prepared when you get there. You have further knowledge about Fibonacci support and resistance. How Fib can be also used to identify support and resistance areas on what on a chart. Okay. Now, the next thing that I will talk about, we also have what we call trend line support and resistance. Trend line support and resistance. And when we talk of trend line support and resistance, um, how do I even break that down to you? Okay, so let me clean this. So we have what we call trend line support and resistance. Okay. Now, when we talk of trend line support and resistance, these are the slanted floor and then a slanted ceiling. Okay, the slanted floor and then the slanted ceiling. So in this case, the support and resistance are not straight or they are not fixed. So when you look at the chart, there are sometimes, if you've observed clearly, I assume I'm communicating with my beginners. So if you've observed clearly, sometimes you may see an image or a screenshot of a chart where the various lines that has been indicated on the chart are not actually straight like what we all know. We will talk about this is horizontal support and resistance, but this time around, it doesn't have an actual straight line. It may be slanted like this. Okay, so it may come in different forms, like sometimes diagonal or vertical. So it's not straight like the normal horizontal line that we know. So when we talk of trend line support and resistance, it actually follows how the trend is going. So with that particular support and resistance, if it happens that the trend is not too straight, it will also follow the same pattern. So if a trader who loves uses support and trend line support and resistance draws a chart or draw a chart or draw his support and resistance on a chart, you may not be able to see the normal one, which is the horizontal support and resistance. You wouldn't see it that way, but you see that the line or the lines are slanted, both the support and then the resistance. So let's assume, maybe let's if we go permit tomorrow, we will use the chart. So I just want us to go through the introductory aspect of it. But I believe you get what I'm trying to mean. I believe you get what I'm trying to mean. Let me know. I believe you get what I'm trying to explain here. I believe you get what I'm trying to explain here. If no, let me know. If yes, to let me know. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay, that is good. Then I believe I've been able to explain. I always want to make sure whatever lesson I have to teach you, be able to understand it in an easy way without any complications, right? Okay, awesome. Then let's proceed. Let's proceed. So aside trend line support and resistance, you also have what you call, as I rightly said, horizontal support and resistance. And when we talk of horizontal support and resistance, and as it's clearly indicated, you may always see both the resistance or the ceiling and then also the floor to be flat, right? So we focus on how we may see the chart having within a flat area, where we may call this place the floor and then also this place the ceiling. So immediately you see that this is a horizontal support and resistance, a horizontal support and resistance, and then the the trend line support and resistance may appear in a slanted floor, in a slanted form, where maybe you may see the chart like this. On the chart you may see two lines like this. So let me first wipe off the first one. Okay, so you may see two lines like this instead of you having it like the normal one straight, which is the horizontal one like this. You wouldn't see it that way, but you may see your support and resistance in a slanted form. Okay, as if the price is climbing up a hill or an upward slanted floor. You get it? So if you immediately you see that, you should know that now that I'm learning support and resistance, this one is trend line support and what? Trend line support and resistance. I believe it's I believe it's home. I believe it's home. I believe it's home. I believe it's home. Do you get it?
To readjust.
I believe you get it. If you get it, give me one. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. So when it comes to the concept of support and resistance, I've been able to mention to, let me see if I remember one and add it to it. So okay. So we also have what we called dynamic support and resistance. Okay. Dynamic support and resistance. Okay. That is good. We also have what we called dynamic. Let me use this. All right. So dynamic support and resistance. Dynamic support and resistance. Okay. So now, basically, when we talk of dynamic support and resistance, it also happens, or it mostly appears, like using different indicators to identify support and resistance. Like let me see, we have the 200 moving average or moving average. So some traders also uses moving averages to identify the support and then what resistance on the chart. So for instance, and in the course of our studies we'll get there. So we may have what you call moving averages, okay? And with the moving averages, we have the 200 moving average, okay? 200 moving average. So 200 days moving average. So what it does is, on a long term chart, you may be able to see that the 200 moving average will serve as a floor or the ceiling. So sometimes when you are trading using moving averages, sometimes you may see three lines, okay? So in the course of our studies, please, you get there and you observe that. So you see three lines. Now we may have the short term moving average, which is just a line like this. The maybe 50 moving average, which is a line like this, and then the short term or the long term moving average, which may be moving upwards or downwards like this. So that serves as the ceiling or the support zone. That is what we term it as the dynamic support and then resistance. If you care to know, let me see if you could go back to trading view. Like I said, if you go permit tomorrow, that is what we will be doing. Okay, that is what we will be doing. Let me see if we could go to trading view. Um, okay, so okay, shoot, hold on, let me see. Okay. um, Simple moving average. Okay, let me see if I'll be able to get what exactly I'm looking for. No, this is not it. All right, you if God permit tomorrow when we get here, I will explain to you using the chart that you observe. So for now, let me delete it. Okay. So what we are trying to mean here with dynamic support and resistance is simple. That is the use of indicators and sometimes even Bollinger Band. Okay, sometimes even Bollinger Band. And I remember in one of the sessions when is it that coach Aminata or Coach Musa, one of them was talking about Bollinger Band and talk about how to use the Bollinger Band. Now, Bollinger Band can also serve, one of the lines can serve as what? As support or as resistance, where you may see that the price got to that zone and it got rejected, or the price got below the zone and it's reversed, right? So in the case, let me see if I'll be able to see one. Though if God permit tomorrow, that is what we'll be doing. So there is no need to be worried about that. Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band, okay. Okay, very good. So when you look at these three lines, to which we've not talked about indicators yet, so don't worry. To which one of the line may serve as support, another line too may serve as what, as resistance. This is all what we are trying to mean about dynamic support and what, resistance. So basically, you may see this, maybe one may be moving as floor, and then also one of the lines may be moving as what, as resistance with time. So for instance, as you observe this particular chart, where is my drawing tool? I believe you are following. I believe you are getting what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Is a message home? Is a message home? Is the message home? Is the message home? All right, that is good. Okay, so in brief, when we talk of dynamic support and resistance, it's either the use of indicators like either MACD, sorry, the 200-day moving averages, or the Bollinger Band, or any other indicator, to be able to identify. And not even only that, we also have pivot point also serves as support and resistance. Okay, so it can also help the trader to identify support and resistance on the chart. So for instance, looking at this particular chart, maybe a trader who understands how to use the Bollinger Band, and I know leaders will get back to explain to us how to use the Bollinger Band. So a trader may use this as his maybe his resistance area, and then also use this line as his support zone. It's simple as that. That is what we mean by dynamic support and then what, resistance. Dynamic support and resistance. And I believe that is clear. So at least you now can be able to understand three different support and resistance. The first one, horizontal support and resistance. So horizontal support and resistance. Mm, Horizontal support and resistance. Trend line support and resistance. Trend line. And then what again? Dynamic support and resistance. Dynamic support and resistance. And also fib support and resistance. So Fibonacci. Fibonacci support and resistance. At least we could talk of these three, and you can also choose to add pivot points. Pivot points. So whilst we keep learning, all these various support and resistance could surely reflect or appear in one or the other of the session that you'll be having. So now, if God permit, tomorrow we shall look at how to draw support and or how to trade using support and what, resistance. How to trade using support and resistance. So in brief, before I'll give you the opportunity for you to ask a question, that is, if there is any to ask. In brief, when we talk of support and resistance, it's something simple and it's not difficult. It will help the trader to identify the various key zones. Either there is going to be a price continuation, price reversal, or the price is going to pause, or it may range, right? So for instance, let's assume there are two prices. There are, okay, let's take the price of Solana. Maybe let's assume the price of Solana is 158. Okay, now the price went below from 158 to 130. Okay, so in between these two areas, since the price couldn't go above 158, this zone becomes the resistance zone. Okay, and then also this area becomes the support zone. Simple as that. So if a trader wants to know the support and resistance, it could happen in different forms. That is the reason why I said first the chart is visual. But when it comes to visual art, what you observe to understand is different from what I observe to understand. It's simple as that. Do you get it? So that is what you mean by support and resistance. So where the price was able to bounce maybe 3 times, it's able to get to 158. Maybe it was able to bounce 2 times, it got to 130. It's simple. So this happens to be my support area. This happens to be my resistance area. Simple as that. Okay. So if I'm a trader and I'm searching for support and resistance on my chart, first someone can use what you call all-time high, ATH. Okay, an all-time high as a support, his resistance zone, because that was the highest price on the chart. And then the lowest price on the chart, which is all-time low, may be his support zone. Do you get the idea? So there are different forms of traders using support and resistance based on the further or the complex knowledge that they've been able to receive or got through the study of support and what resistance. So while someone is using maybe the Bollinger Band as the support and resistance, another person too may choose to use um, trend lines as support and resistance. Another person too may use horizontal support and resistance. Another person too may use maybe fib support and resistance, and another person too may use what have you, right? And that is it. So at the end of the day, support and resistance are the basis of trading. Support and resistance are the basis of trading, and immediately you know how to draw support and resistance or how to use support and resistance, trading may become so easy for you to analyze, or the charts may become so easy for you to analyze without any complications. And I believe this session, as the introductory part of our support and resistance, would help you enough, and you've been able to learn something good out of it. So please, if you have any question, let me give you the opportunity to ask your question. Like I said, we wouldn't keep long, and if you permit me, I'll use just 5 minutes to teach you support and resistance. Maybe I have to speed up. Yeah, but don't mind. So please, if you have any question so far, um, kindly ask. If you have any question so far about support and resistance, kindly ask. Mind you, as we keep building on it, then things become so tougher. So these are the foundations, and as I'm building the foundation, as we keep building the foundations, please don't make sure that you don't miss. Make sure you don't miss anything out of it, so that you can be able to learn through the process. And if you're able to follow very well, things will be so easy. Is it difficult? 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 Someone saying yes, it's difficult. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? Someone saying very difficult. Yes. No, not difficult. We need more class, you understand? No. Is it difficult? Give your response for me to know. Is it difficult? Mind you, you've not practiced anything. This is just the introductory part of it. Is it difficult? Okay, so Atara. Hope this is not Atasa. Hope this is not Atasa in Ghana. Okay, so Atara. You said you will need more class. You're gonna understand. So please let me know if which part of it which part that you didn't get is clear, so that I'll be able to help you. Okay, so Herbert Grace, you said it's difficult. You said yes. So let me know which part. So Queen FX Queen, you said for now it's difficult. For now, so let me know. Okay, so you also have Isaac Nwape or whatever. Sorry, said it's very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. My brother said it's difficult. So let me know. I can raise your hand and let me unmute you. Okay, I have Joy here. Joy, you've been asked to unmute, so ask your question. Joy, you've been asked to unmute. Ask your question. So please, if you have any question, you can also unmute, raise your hand. Joy, You've been asked to unmute, so please ask your question. Maybe it's by mistake. All right. So,
Hello, hello. Good morning, sir. Yes,
good morning.
I'm very happy and grateful to be part of these programs. Um, my question is based on your teaching this morning concerning the support and the resistance. We are made to understand that we have like four different types according to your explanation that you draw and when you are teaching us. So my question now is, can one just choose, let's say, horizontal support and resistance, or maybe there is another one you said trend? Can one just choose only one, or you must know the four or five of them for you to be able to use it and analyze and know where
Mm,
you what support and resistance will be?
okay. All right. Thank you so much. That is a nice question. Okay, so let me mute you and proceed to answer. Okay, so now when it comes to trading, first I will let you know you don't need everything, you just need one. Just understand only one, just one. Okay, just one, and then you are good to go. So, my dear Joy, for the sake of your joy, you don't need any excess. Okay, you just need one to enjoy yourself. Okay, so that is it. Now, when it comes to technical analysis and all its related lessons, you don't need to know everything. It's just the art of understanding one session or one particular lesson out of the entire session, because we are going to teach a lot of things here. After support and resistance, we will come to indicators, price action. We will teach different things, smart money concepts, ICT, and what all the other things that you are supposed to teach. At the end of the day, you just need one of the lessons to build yourself to master just one of it and then proceed to go. Right? So, dear Joy, that is the answer. You just need one, only one, then you are good to go. Okay, so hello, baby, or whatever. Sorry for not pronouncing your name right. Please, you said difficult for me. Oh, which part of it is difficult? Which part of it is difficult? Yes, so please, if in case you missed the session, you couldn't join on time, so you can go to our YouTube channel, that is RoyalQ Revolution. Go to YouTube and watch the tutorials there. Go to YouTube and watch the tutorials. So please, that is it. So hello, baby, or whatever. Please, sorry for your name. I'm not being able to pronounce this right. Okay. So please, you said difficult for me. So let me know which part of it is difficult. This is just an introductory part. This is just an introductory part, and what we are saying. Okay. Okay. So Joyce, you can put your hand down. Let me lower your hand for you. Okay, so please, if you have any question, you can feel free, raise your hand and let me guide you out. Now, what we are saying is simple. If God permit, tomorrow we'll look at how to trade support and resistance. So how you can draw support and resistance on the chart. Okay, how you can easily draw support and what and resistance, and that is what we are going to do tomorrow if God permits. Okay, so please take notice of that. Don't miss the session and make sure you join on time. Now, whatever that we are saying about support and resistance is simple. We said there are always something located on a chart. Um briefing everything in just 1 to 2 minutes. There is always what we call the chart pattern, and the candlesticks arrange themselves, and how they've arranged themselves is what we term them as chart patterns. So the pattern, and the pattern may form either an uptrend pattern, downtrend pattern, or ranging pattern, right? In the course of these three forms of patterns, now we may have what we call support and then resistance. The lowest part where the price went, and then the highest part where the price got to. So the price either rise or fall. So on a chart where you observe that the price really went very down, RoyalQ Revolution. So on a chart where you realize that the price really went down, that is what we term it as the support area, and then also the area where the price went up without further inclination or without further rising. That is what we term it as what as resistance. So you just observe a chart. If you want to understand support and resistance, just assume the place where the price got below, then also the zone where the price got above. So above and below is what we term it as support and resistance. If it's below, the lowest is called support, the highest is called resistance. So I took this session to ensure that I can basically explain the few terms, the few things that you need to know. If God permit, tomorrow we shall look at it on the chart, how to draw support and resistance, the various ways of drawing support and resistance. And I believe this would help you. Let's end here. If God permits, we shall proceed tomorrow. And mind you, there is a meeting this morning. Okay, so um there is a meeting this morning by other leaders. So please let's get prepared. That is 7 o'clock Ghana time and then 8 o'clock Nigerian time, which may also probably, but it may be either 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock East African time. So please let's all get prepared to be here on time so that we can all learn, then also um proceed, right? So please, I guess we will end here. If God permit, tomorrow we shall come again. Okay, so yes, so that is good. Thank you so much too for your time. Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, let's end here. We said which time will it be? So please, the link will be dropped on the platform. Okay, the link will be dropped on the platform. So please, I believe we will end here. If there is no question about our lesson, if God permits, tomorrow we shall still proceed from where we ended this morning. Make sure you don't miss tomorrow's session. That is what is going to give you the actual work. Okay, this is just the theoretical aspect of it for you to get the introductory session. So please, let's all try our best to join. Let me see if other leaders um if there is any other announcement. Okay, Coach Musa is here. Coach Musa, please, if there is any announcements, kindly let us know. If there is any announcement, kindly let us know. Um, okay, maybe there is no announcement. All right. Okay. Okay, then I'm sure there is no announcement. So please, we are still meeting 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Nigerian time. So let's all get prepared to be there on time. See you again and thank you. God bless you. Have a good day. Love you all. Bye 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 bye.